Welcome back to Rather Be Board Gaming. I'm going to use this video to test my equipment and setup because I want to get another playthrough of this going pretty soon. And I've had this in for a while and haven't had a chance to even open it and look at it. I'm sure it's just more good stuff. We have some tokens here, global effects and politicians. Okay. New missions and lots of new cards. Let's see if I can get this open fairly easy. This is pretty cool. The global effect is simply that. If Venom has a card out that has a global effect on it, you can just toss that on that. You can earn medals by completing quests. And as soon as you complete it, then you can use for the bottom action. New mission cards. I'm assuming, I haven't seen in the instruction book anything different, so I'm assuming that one of those will utilize the politician tokens, and they're red on one side and blue on the other. Let's take a look at some of these. Adamant, Big Irish, Carnage, Catamount, Detox. Oh yeah, double vision. So we've got a lot of new agents that we can recruit. Lynx, Malware, Maul, Preacher. All right, Saint, Shadowstar. And a lot of these, again, are based on old G.I. Joe characters. And I was a huge fan of the G.I. Joe, Real American Hero. Kept up some with the comics, but mostly the Saturday morning cartoon and the toys. So this was great. And shortly after I got this, ordered it, got it in at the house, then I saw online that there is a official G.I. Joe licensed game that's going to come out. But it looks similar to this, so I'll have to check that out because I've already have this, and if it's too similar, then I'll just stick with this. I'm happy with this. Venom support cards have become aware of Freedom Squadron's ability to act faster than them, and have learned to use wind-drawn abilities. So now there will be sometimes when the enemy will immediately attack. And then we have some Headhunters, Ice Badgers, Nighthawks. So it looks like more, yeah, Venom support cards. So really cool. Just these look a lot like more Dreadnought stuff here. So just more good. Oh, Venom Troopers, they look a little bit like a cross between the Battle Android Troopers and then the Venom, the old Viper Troopers. But, cool. Just more good stuff to add to what was already good. Finally got my voice back after having a sinus infection, so we're ready to go. I pretty much got the board kind of set up. Now, it does say here that you can use only the event cards that came in the expansion, and it would be the exact count if you want it to have the event deck. But I mixed them all in, so I'll go through the actual book, the instruction book, to set up the event deck in a moment. Also, it talks about different combat groups that have been added to this, and when you read it, it really sounds like Sergeant Slaughter's Renegades and then the Dreadnoughts. So it really seems like that's who they're adding in as extra bad guys and good guys. For missions, figured I would just try one of the new missions. Let's see, I'll take this one, put those two back. No Mercy, let's see, setup. So we've got some special setup with leaders, so I will do that off camera and discuss that because got to look for some of those. We're going to build the deck according to this game setup. For 2 to 3 players, you utilize the full event deck, and then it tells you that you can remove up to 4 of the Venom strikes if the game seems too hard. I'm just going to go ahead and remove 2 of those, but then we can't use all of the cards since we have extras. So referring back to this book, you can see here it says we use all is quiet, depending on the difficulty. So all of them in a 2 and 3. And we're wanting to play, I guess, just a standard easy mode. But then here it says shuffle all the dual red and blue and red and yellow with the base Venom Strikes cards that are red only from the original, and then deal out 10. Then it says we're going to use all of the dual event yellow and blues. Then we'll use 6 of the yellow events and 6 of the blue events. So what are they talking about? Let's take a look at that. Here are the cards for our event deck. Here are the All Quiets. We will be using those. And then here are, it's kind of hard to see, but that's kind of a red and a blue. There's a red and a yellow. There's an all red one from the expansion. So some of them are kind of hard to tell. And then here are some yellow blue. And we're supposed to mix these in with all the red bad events from the original, because in these sometimes something good can happen for us as well as something bad. So here we will have 10 from here, and then we're going to use all of these. Then from the yellow only we will draw 6, and from the blue only we will do 6. And we'll shuffle all that together with these. And I'll do that off camera as I start to work on the setup of the mission. Let's take a closer look at the mission card, because this sounds awful. So it says to locate these cards, these 9 cards, I have them. They are all from the expansion, and they are special mission specific rewards. So they all have the manila folder icon, and they have an exclamation point up here. So it's all of those. And then 5 more. So I'm going to take these specific ones from the base one, set them aside, not use those, and use the standard of from the original and the expansion all mixed together. And then we will just get 5 randomly from there to finish out the deck for the event. But then it says you will randomly choose 14 Venom leaders, no problem, make up the deck, and then you set the event deck as normal. And then you remove all Venom Strikes and all is quiet events. Oh no. So there we go. I was trying to make the game a little bit easier, and this has just made it harder. Of course, this is a harder mission. So I'm not going to go through the deck and remove them all. If we get to one, I'll just remove it and not use it. If a mission-specific reward card is ever viewed through an ability, then we have to shuffle the rest of the reward deck with all the rewards on the board and place one randomly face down on each occupied zone. Ambushes are not thwarted or removed from the game. And the victory condition is that we must win when we have collectively thwarted 5 ambushes. But we lose if an event needs to be drawn from the event deck and there are none left in the event deck. Oh no. So we have to the event deck is already a bit of a time clock, but now we have more of one because I don't really want to fail an ambush and then it'd have to get reshuffled in, and then chances are you won't have an ambush. That sounds really difficult. While we're here, let's read the mission briefing. With Freedom Squadron thwarting plan after plan from Venom, Venom Commander has become enraged and has secretly planted ambushes at random Venom strongholds, unbeknownst to even the Venom soldiers and leaders at those bases. Venom Commander has set up these deadly traps without regard to his own men and women in a reckless effort to end Freedom Squadron once and for all. So we have to successfully thwart 5 of those ambushes he has set up before the event deck runs out. Each player is dealt 2 metal cards, and this one says have at least 9 cards in play during a single turn. That may take a while to get to. This one says play at least 2 Freedom Squadron cards with C abilities in a single turn. I think this one would be quicker and easier to get to. I haven't even looked at the rewards. I'm just going to keep this one, discard this one. As soon as it is completed, you can use it or save it, and then you draw 2 and choose another one again. So put this over here. Let's look at the board now. This is a bit of a mess. Event deck here, and I have the Venom support there, the Freedom Squadron support for training grounds down there, and then I have the heroes, and I have these global effect tokens to remind me. For instance, Any Freedom Squadron card that is discarded by the active player on their turn outside of the end of turn phase is retired instead. The effect only happens a maximum of 2 times per turn. So you can take advantage of that if you want it to thin your deck out, but we do have some global effects in play. Let's see what the other one says. Right up here with Heartbreaker. It says all players must reveal their hand and retire 1 soldier of their choice with a recruiting of 6 or more if they have any. Ouch! And that's a global effect during your event phase. So we got to take her out quick because she will just constantly cause our more seasoned soldiers, our better recruits, to retire before we want to. I think I'm about ready, and I hope that I'm not messing up any rules too bad, so someone can let me know with timestamps if I mess up. But unfortunately, looking here, 8, 8, 6, 6, and 5, and player 1 needs water ability cards, which there are none out there, and really you don't want to get any of those without taking this person out. That is a global effect during the event phase. So that's a little unfortunate, which it's not going to hurt us for this first turn or two, but we really need to get rid of her. And I'm hoping that I can figure out a way to get this played to where we can see what's going on. We've got to start with the event phase, and we have Venom for Mayor. A sleazy politician candidate hires Venom to cause trouble for his opponents, Kendall Harper. During this mayoral campaign race, Venom sends Terranauts to harass and ruin Kendall's campaign, but Freedom Squadron is sent in to restore law and order. Grateful, Kendall uses his contacts in the U.S. Air Force to assist Freedom Squadron. So we have a global effect. Tactical phase. Any combat that is in the air this round allows the player to place the top card from their draw deck into play. Nice. So that is the active, and it has a global effect, so we'll do that. And I think I am ready. Let's see what we have. Don't even... Yes. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like we have all of our commandos. And we have 6 recruiting. But I don't really want to use all that recruiting. So, this player I think is going to get General Steel. And he will go there. This is our recruiting points right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And he only costs 5. Right here. That is the cost. That is how much that you can use them to recruit. And this is if they are the leader, but he has a special ability. Now, they can be a leader and have 2 dice, +1, +2, +3, +4. And we're going to go to, unfortunately, a sea region, not an air region. Let's see. This is a global effect. Any card that is discarded. Now, this Heartbreaker's global effect takes effect during the event phase, but since we haven't had any recruiting yet, there is no one that has a purchase value of 6 or greater, so we could skip that. But since we have this global effect, I would like to go in the air, and I'm looking at Hex here. You reveal the top card of your draw deck, and if the reveal card has an attack leader value greater than 0, you re-roll that many successes, and then you retire the revealed card. Otherwise, you discard the revealed card. Well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 commandos. That's all the commandos I have in my deck. The rest are recruits, and recruits have attack of 0. This was my starting hand, so I know that the rest of my deck is recruits, so that would be a great time to go after Hex. Plus, we will get a bonus card during the tactical phase. So, tactical phase, we're getting ready to go to fight. And it says, any combat that is in an air phase This round allows the player to place the top card from their draw deck into play. So I'm going to put this into play and we'll get an extra die. Okay, I can't use her recruiting ability to recruit, but we have an extra die for combat. So now we go into the combat phase. We get the dice, well, we'll get the support ready, we'll get the dice ready. Then we have to resolve her text, Hex's text. So let's do that and let's see what that looks like. Someone can let me know if I'm doing this wrong, because this does say any Freedom Squad card that is discarded by the active player on their turn outside of the end of turn phase is retired instead. I would hope that that does not mean when you recruit a player, because it says in the book you place them in your discard pile, and that's not actually discarding, that's placing. So I'm going to assume that does not take effect, because that would be too, just seems so powerful. Okay. Here, she starts at 4 health with 2 defense. So let's just mark that 2 defense. And then we will draw 2 Venom support cards to support her in battle. Let's see. Tactical phase, +1 heart. And if you discard pile has 5 or more cards in it, you add additional. No, we just started. It only has 1, and that is the card we just purchased. So they will get 1 more health. That's not good. And +2 defense. Ouch. They just became a little more difficult to take out, but we will see. Now we're still in the tactical phase technically. Okay, so we have our extra support there. So our combat leader will get 2 because of that value. Then tactical phase supporting in the mission will get +1. So there's +1, +1, +1, +1, and then the extra card we got because of the global event +1. So they are setting at a defense of 4, which means we must roll 4 or higher on all the die on a die to do a point of damage, and they have 5 hit points. Let's see if I can do that. Get around the camera. With my current setup, I'm just having trouble getting the camera in a good place and getting everything to work. This is a little difficult, so we will set those there for now. And we need 4s or higher, so we got 2 successes. That is it. That is not enough. So that was a failed mission. And I don't see anything that says anything about if we fail a mission. Global effect, that's event phase. We're at the end of phase. We can retire now, and I think I will retire. Let's go ahead and retire one of the commandos. That was unfortunate, but we had to try. These will go away. We will go to the second player's turn now. Let's see what we get. An 11 cost. Good grief, there is nothing down here to buy. Because of this, we may have to just go for them because I don't want to lose anything. The global event, the global effect, it says during the event phase. The event phase only happens on player 1's turn. But we still don't want to get any expensive card and then lose it. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we could go ahead and get Mirage here. During the recruitment phase, you can choose one of the following. Look at a face-down Venom. Well, all the Venom leaders start face-up at the beginning of the game. Or you may choose to reveal it face-up. Or you can reveal face-up a reward card under. Well, we don't want to do that because of the current mission. What does this say? Look at the top 2 event cards in the event deck and place them back in any order. That's not bad, but that's not great. And it's 6 recruit for a 1-1. I mean, we could always just get her 4 the extra combat value, or so that she can be a leader in a combat. She does have one. Right now, that's the best option that we have for this player, and I will show you why. So we will go ahead and recruit her, put her in our discard pile. And then I think this player, let's see, they only have 3 of their commandos. Chances are that that is a commando there. So we're going to go ahead and try to go for Heartbreaker to get her out of the way. So once again, he's the combat leader. That'll be 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 die. Then they get 4 Venom support. Good grief. +1 defense, and +1 defense for every wasp that is revealed after this one. But it only takes effect for the first wasp drawn. So, slide that down. Let's see, they start at 2 and 2. And now they have 3 defense. That's 1. Lower the combat leader's attack value by 1. So we just remove one of the attack die. Discard 1 freedom support vehicle. Well, we don't have any vehicles in this combat, so that doesn't matter. That was a long-range artillery that took out a vehicle. And then +2 armor. Ouch. Okay, that hurts a little bit. 1, 2. So they have 5 defense, but only 2 hit points. So all we need are 2 successes, 5 or higher. There's 1, and that's it, and that is not enough, and I have no way to re-roll. They survived for now. Unfortunate. And I think they are going to do the same thing and just retire a commando. Just getting a little bit unlucky on the rolls, which that's part of it. Player 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now their reward card says to try and play 2 Freedom Squadrons with air abilities. And that is why we left this Patriot jet for them. And now we have a soldier there. Sledge. Oh, that is so good. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 3 recruits. That's 6, 7, 8. That is plenty to go ahead and get the Patriot into our discard deck. And we're going to do the same thing. We want to try and take out Heartbreaker as soon as possible. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 4 more die. Let's do this again. She starts at 2 life and 2 defense. Oop, another wasp. So +1 armor. Yeah. And +1 life. And if you have 5 or more cards, nope, they only have the card they just purchased. So +1 life. We're at 3 and 3, which is not too bad. Hopefully it'll stay that way. Change the combat die with the highest road value to the opposite face, which becomes that die's new road value. Ow, so basically we need an extra success. If the combat fails, you retire 2 soldiers of your choice from those that took part in combat. Ouch! Talk about thinning your deck. That is the Harvester. It is a mobile missile barrage. Oh, goodness. That is bad. So we need 1 extra success. And we got another one. Oh, my goodness. I will have to double check, but it looks like we're going to lose 4 of our soldiers if we fail this combat. Now, it is just a 3 and a 3, which is not bad. And we do have 6 dice. But we need an extra success for each one of these if they both take effect. Let me double check on that because this is dangerous. As far as I know or understand, they would take effect. This is tactical, this is tactical, this is during the combat phase, and then at the end of combat, and each one would trigger on its own, which means I really just want to roll a bunch of 4s, because then when you flip them, they'll be 3s, and they'll still be successes. Oh well, let's just see what happens. So, we take the highest die and flip it to its other side. And we flip this to its other side. And that is during the combat phase. You change the combat die with the highest rolled value to the opposite face, which becomes that die's new rolled value. But we still have 3 successes. And I don't know if you can see, but they have 3 armor and 3 hit points. That is enough to take out Heartbreaker. Thank goodness. So we will slide her under here. We're not really going to keep points, but she is gone. That means these will be wiped, but before we do, we have to reveal the reward card, and it says, in order to thwart this ambush, you must choose to retire the combat leader and a freedom support card that took part in combat. Once in the game, once per game, use this card to give the combat leader +3. Nice. So, that's not a problem. That's actually not a problem. We will do that. So, we will let this commando retire. And let's go ahead and retire one of the recruits there. So they did thin their deck out quite a bit. And oops, that goes over here. So they thinned their deck out quite a bit. But that's much better than failing and losing 4 cards. They only lost 2. Okay. And they weren't anything super good. Nothing new purchased. Now, we have an empty spot, and we still have reward cards and Venom leaders available. So, we will fill that space. And then we will have a new event and start back over with the first player.